guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Alex from Shanghai Silk Road, and here I'm joined by Philip. He's also a company owner in Shanghai, and he's been actually quite successful in trading, import and export, right? So I'd like to ask some questions to Philip, and his experience, I hope, will be useful to some of our other clients. So thanks, Philip, for joining this interview. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So if you can share your experience with the clients, that would be really great, because we've got, on a daily basis, we've got a lot of questions asked by people who want to enter the Chinese market, especially who want to source products from China and then export, maybe sell in different countries. So let's start from the beginning. When you set up a company, how did you choose a place of registration? Why Shanghai, for example? Is it because of...
I actually set up in Shanghai due to the fact it's a very well-known city globally, and then I stumbled across yourself, matter of fact, on YouTube, right. And you sort of were able to fulfill all the requirements I was looking for at the time to set up a business here.
All right, thanks for the trust. So, okay, like you mentioned, Shanghai is quite global, but it's not, many people ask this question, it doesn't have wholesale markets, for example. So this is another question. Do you have to live in the city where you source your products, or can you source your products from distance in China? Like use a phone, maybe use a WeChat? How do you source your products?
Sure, so I mean, I source my products by researching on the internet, which can be done anywhere. It doesn't have to be done necessarily. So you don't have to really live in Guangzhou or Yiwu, for example, trade cities? Absolutely not. I mean, for example, I'm registered here in Shanghai, and matter of fact, none of my products have actually come from this province at all. So.
All right, so you can run a business from distance.
Yes.
All right, so another question people are interested is, when you set up a company as a company director, you need to get yourself a visa, right, sponsored by your company. So I know that you are one of the clients, like one of the few clients who decided to go to category A work visa. So can you tell us about that experience? How did you decide, why did you decide for category A, not B or C? And how was the experience?
Sure, yeah, so I when I came to China, when I first met yourself, I was on a tourist visa, looking at the options of setting up a business here. After the registration, I had to change my visa because I was to stay here and live here in China. And there's three categories, isn't there? A, B and C.
Yeah.
I would say about 85–90% would go, as you stated, category B.
Right, most common.
Unfortunately, though, due to this pandemic, it was virtually impossible for me to get a visa because our embassies were closed in the UK, where I'm from, and I was unable to get the documentation. So I thought I was actually going to be returning home because my visa was expiring. And actually, thanks to yourself, you looked at the options that were available, and you came across there was this option of going category A, and I just felt it was a very good opportunity to go category A because it's enabled me to continue trading here in China.
So category A, we mentioned in different videos that it's going to cost slightly more than other types of visas. So in your experience, is it costly to maintain it?
I think that to answer that, it's very depends on the personal situations. So for myself, it's costly. However, it's got its benefits, especially if you're here for the long run. I think you said to me that if you have it for 4 years, you get some benefits here in China with that visa.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things that we already discussed before, I mean, since we're talking about it, it's worth mentioning that to maintain category A, yes, it's costly, but after 4 years, you are eligible to apply for a Chinese green card. And another important part is you don't really have to pay yourself that required salary, because by law in China your company can owe you a salary for like forever. until the company decides to pay yourself, right? So as long as you keep paying your personal, income tax, which is for category A is 10,000 yuan every month, you are good to go basically. So you just and in terms of speed of getting the visa, do you remember how long it took you to get that visa?
The process was relatively quick, and thanks to yourself, I had the understanding of what documents I had to prepare. The process was nice and simple. I can't remember how many days it took now. I don't think it was over the course of around 3 days, I believe.
Yeah, 3-5 days basically. This is the standard time for category A. And one of the differences between B and C and category A is that in category A you're not required to submit your criminal background check, right?
Correct.
And then plus academic degrees, right? And also work experience.
Yeah, I think that's something else to add. I came here to China to trade, and I don't necessarily meet all the requirements for most of the visas here in China. For one, academically I don't hold a degree certificate, which I thought might be a bit of a hurdle for me to overcome, but luckily there are options for people out there who want to come here and set up in China without necessarily a degree or anything.
Right. So category A guys, like we mentioned, you don't have a degree, you don't have much experience, professional work experience, or you're running out of time maybe for the criminal background check. I mean, you need to extend your visa ASAP, then category A is your option. All right, so moving on with trading now. Most of the clients we have, like existing clients, they from time to time say that when they ask for invoice from Chinese suppliers tend to refuse or increase the price. How's the situation with yourself? I mean, is it difficult to obtain an invoice?
Sure, yeah. So getting an invoice from the suppliers here in China and having a business here helps a great deal because you can claim your tax back. I've heard some stories from yourself with other clients who've said that they've had difficulty getting their invoices from the suppliers. However, I've actually never experienced this myself, and I think the reason being is because from the offset, I always ask for a price including the tax, where if you go into a factory and just say, what is the price of this product, they'll always give you a price not including the tax.
Right.
So that I think that's where the problem lies when someone goes at a later date, we'd like to place the order, but we want an invoice. They haven't mentioned tax in the past.
Right.
So I think that's where.
So when you speak, so ask to include that when you ask for a price
from the offset. From the offset.
Right. So it's very important. And the reason why we're talking about invoices is that just like Philip mentioned, you need special invoice in order to claim tax back, right? And is it difficult to claim the VAT back in China, in your experience? Are there many paper?
I don't know this. I don't know Mandarin. I can't read Mandarin, so you do need support with doing things like tax returns. Though there's all the support you need through your services.
And so basically, accountant. That our company already includes accountant services. Like you can obviously speak to the accountant directly with the tax refund. And plus, before you reach the accountant's office, I mean, in terms of tax refund, I know that you had to hire the custom clearance agent to collect some papers from the tax office, right? Tax office and plus the customs office. Freight forwarder, you need some papers from them as well.
You need to set up this for exporting. You have an e-port account.
Right. Yes.
Which you help me set up. And it depends who you use for the shipments. So if you stick to one company only, it's just a one-off process of adding that freight forwarder to the e-port system. If you're using different forwarders, then you have to keep logging in
every time
in the process.
Okay.
However, once you know what you're doing, it's relatively easy. Again, however, I actually get someone Chinese to help me on that part.
Right. So
because there's no English available.
Right.
It's just
Right.
in
The
Chinese.
system is entirely in Chinese.
Entirely in
you
Chinese.
Definitely,
Yeah.
you need help from. Local
Yes.
people.
Yes.
You need to either hire somebody or have a partner.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the reason why I am asking these questions to Philip is because he's gone through this process. Although we mentioned these elements in different videos before, people still, have difficulty. When it comes to exporting stuff, they keep asking again. How do you do this? Can you help us with the process? So once again, guys, when you are exporting stuff, make sure you have somebody. Yeah, right. Somebody from local people. Either it can be a professional company or it can be an individual. In any case, they have to have some experience in operating the platform.
Yes, yes. I think that's very important that you have a local to assist you, because I think it's virtually impossible if you. I couldn't have done it.
Right. So, which leads to our next point, actually. So you mentioned that you don't speak Mandarin, you don't read Mandarin. Is it difficult to run a business without Mandarin skills?
Absolutely not. No. Obviously, you've got all the tools here on your smartphone. And to be honest, without my smartphone, I couldn't do business here. But we live in a digital age, and we've got the WeChat, which I heavily rely on when I'm speaking to suppliers, and it's got a built-in translation.
So now, basically, I mean, technology-wise, we've got all the tools that makes our lives easier in China without the Chinese skills here, basically. Right?
Yeah. So if you need to do a factory visit, which I've done numerous times, you've got obviously you've got the map systems, which are in English, which is helpful. And then when you're speaking with the factory, if they don't speak very good English, we can use WeChat to communicate.
Right. Okay, so let me ask you this last question, and then we'll just finish the video. The pandemic, has it affected your trading, or how's the situation?
In a sense, my business, I export to various other European countries, and it hasn't luckily affected us because we're an e-commerce business, so we sell on various online marketplaces, and that market didn't collapse. It actually grew during the pandemic. So the only thing that's we've been affected by is the time it takes to get a product maybe manufactured due to delays, and maybe delays in any shipping. Right. So getting the product to market quick enough was reduced. But however, now we've been nearly months into this pandemic. It seems to be improving here in China. Things are okay now.
Things have resumed now, right?
Things have resumed and opened up back here in China.
All right. Thank you once again, Philip. Really appreciate it. Thanks for sharing this experience. And so guys, if you have any questions to myself or Philip, you can contact us or leave in the comment section below, and we'll make sure to answer them in the next videos. Thank you. Okay guys, apologies, the interview was a little bit short with Philip because he was in rush. I was in rush as well because we need to get back to Songjiang, and Philip has got some other arrangements. Anyway, a little bit additional information about his company as well. I mentioned that he's been comparatively successful exporting products from China, and they've got multiple online stores in different platforms basically. And why do I say that he's been successful is because many products of his company actually that he's exporting from China has been listed on Amazon bestsellers list. So that's the reason why I wanted to interview him, and I hope his experience will be useful for you guys. So especially when you're entering the Chinese market and trying to source products, Philip's company is the example, is the real life example from our clients that you can source quality products from China, and yeah, he's been doing it with multiple products, not only one product. He showed me many products that they are actually selling on Amazon. And yeah, one of the things Philip mentioned was during the export process, sometimes customs in China, you know, before your product leaves Chinese borders, they might ask you some certificates, additional certificates. And normally, he said, you need to contact the factory to do it for you. Factories normally do it on your behalf, and it doesn't take long because they have all the right connections. So, you know, for people who are wondering, how do I get that? Because in China I don't speak Chinese, maybe. Well, the best source for this kind of things will be the supplier. Okay, so make sure you contact the supplier and they will help you out. Okay, so in the next videos I will try to invite maybe you know, more clients like Philip who've been successful, and they will you know, share their experiences as well in different companies, maybe, because in Philip's case it's a trading company. So next time maybe we'll do a consulting company, and let's talk about that. And all right guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.